Today you're going to be learning 5 different stitches. You're going to be using a variety of threads. We have silk and wools, an all silk thread, ribbon, and a very velvet. Your kit will include the threads that you need for this project. You'll also receive a needle and the canvas with your letter that you choose. We're going to be learning the basket weave stitch, skip tent stitch, a brick stitch, a road stitch for your circles, and a stitch that we call double T. We're going to learn the basket weave stitch. The basket weave stitch is one of the basic needlepoint stitches, and it looks like this. As you can see, it's in the center green as well as in the B. It's also in these small dots. In this video, we're going to learn the basket weave stitch. The basket weave stitch is on a diagonal. Instead of working across your canvas, you're going to work up and down to create a diagonal stitch. In needlepoint, there is a direction that your basket weave should go. We have something called the up and down row. Your vertical mesh is your down row, and your horizontal mesh is your up row. A lot of people think that the meshes are the holes, but the meshes are the threads that cross over each other on the canvas. So to get started, because I don't have anywhere to connect my stitches, I'm going to make a waist away knot. Some people will hold the thread behind them, but I find it easier to create a knot. So I have my silk thread, and I doubled it so that it would cover the canvas because we're using a larger whole canvas. So I'm going to create a knot in the end of my thread, and then I want to work about 1.5 inches away from where I want to start. So I'm just going to put my thread down, and now my thread is locked in. So we're going to get started with the basket weave stitch. Again, we're going to be working on a diagonal. So I'm going to start from left to right. So I've put my first stitch in. And what I mean by first stitch is because we're working on a diagonal, I'm not going to keep going across. I'm going to then drop down because I want to come to my horizontal row so that I can work my way up. So I'll come down to cover that mesh. And I'm just going to go next to it. And now I'm done with that row again. So again, now I want to work down because I'm working on up and down. So sometimes if you're not sure where to go, you can lay your needle down on a diagonal and it will show you the next set of stitches that you need to cover. So because I'm on a vertical mesh, which is this mesh, and vertical is your down row, I'm going down the stairs is what I like to say. Now I'm working with a little longer thread. You might want to work with a little shorter, but I'm doing this just for teaching and to show you that you can work with a longer thread. It can be a bit cumbersome. Just make sure your stitches lay flat because I am using 2 strands together. Here's a close-up of the basket weave stitch so you can see it a little better. As you can see, I'm coming up the stairs. I'm on a horizontal mesh. I can lay my needle down to show those are the stitches I want to cover. And as you can tell, I'm starting to see a diagonal pattern. And if you do basket weave correctly, what will happen is you will see a basket on the back of your canvas. Your stitches will look like a basket on the back. Now when I'm stitching, I always want to finish a row or start the next row so that I know if I'm working on my up row or my down row. So either stop in the middle of a row if you needed to get up and stop stitching, or start the next row before you walk away from your canvas. That will help you a lot. The reason is if you start going the wrong direction, you're going to see little ridges in your canvas. Not a huge deal, but you'll notice it, and Might as well not have that. So now I'm on my down row again, the vertical mesh. If you have to work around an area such as the letter I have, it's okay sometimes if you're going up on a vertical, or down on a horizontal. Just make sure when you're in a large space, you're going up on your horizontal and down on your vertical. So I just finished a down row because I'm working down the canvas, and now I'm going to come up my horizontal row. And I'm just going to keep stitching, and I'll work around my letter. So I'm going to pretend that I'm going to walk away from my canvas. So this will be the last stitch that I put in. I'm going to show you how you feed your threads through. So I've already locked in my stitches there so they don't fall out while I'm stitching, but usually I'd have more space to work with. But you would just run your needle underneath, and that locks in your stitches. And I try to do it as a T. Sometimes you can't help it and you run it on a diagonal, but I always try to do horizontal and vertical. And then I can clip my stitches. Now, when I have more to work with, later I'll come back, I'll cut this knot, thread my needle, and run it back through as well. So you're going to finish the green stripe in basket weave. You'll also do your letter in basket weave.